this is something that really happened to my people. And here I sit with brush in hand and mixing colors and attempting to recapture this feeling, trying to take this hand and this instrument with this medium at the end of the brush and to all of a sudden create something that says what I feel. This was a 3-year project. And over that period of time, each verse and each passage demanded another kind of mindset in order to start from a blank canvas and work toward making that statement. The history of this country lets us know and tells us that we've always been treated unfairly because we were not brought here to be treated equally. We were brought here for servitude. So this mural project talks about passages throughout our own experience as Africans. And I will use the word African more than I will use the word African Americans, because at the point of departure that these paintings talk about, we were not Americans at all. We were property of Americans, and we were enslaved Africans. We were not slaves. The whole idea of that journey to find a homeland, that journey to find peace of mind in one's soul and spirit, was being totally negated by the system of slavery in the United States of America. What happens when people are taken from their moorings and transplanted into another cultural milieu of all kinds of things that are foreign to them? Language, religion, morals, all of the things that happened to Africans as they were transported in the transatlantic slave trade. The American slave system dismantled so much of the family structure as one would know it. And the painting talks about the woman debased and raped and disrespected in so many ways that it dismantled black people's feeling about unity for themselves. It brought about a whole period of self-hatred and self-denial. The chains are not there, but the hardware is still present, you see, and the hardware is about that residual influence, so deeply embedded that the chain that was once attached to this and to the feet, there are other chains, there are industrial chains, there are corporate chains, wherever we go until we break that chain and we break that connection to the perpetrator of our pain, then we will always be enslaved. We will always be chained to some idea that does not represent total freedom for us as people. Some of these are main characters, some of these people are supporting characters, and some of them are witnesses. There are so many witnesses in the background of things. There's always somebody watching. This is a collaboration between the two artists. Walter Edmonds painted half of it, I painted the other part. We didn't have a prescribed sketch, so Walter came in and painted what he felt like doing and left the rest of it. And I sort of merged my style into his. Walter's palette is different. The choice of colors are reds and oranges and yellows and vibrant, striking impasto. He puts his colors down with what's called a palette knife, like a small cement trowel, and it's metal. And when you put the paint down, it stays there. He doesn't manipulate it as much with the brush as I did with my own. I use brushes, as you can see, that's to soften edges and to get that flowing atmospheric content. And what Walter does is he sort of like torpedoes the color right into the canvas, right into the surface, so that when it comes back at you, it comes back with a different kind of intensity. It comes back with a forcefulness that it causes you to want to even look at the texture of the work. This project started in 1973 and ended in 1976. That was the year of the bicentennial, so it ended on a good note. You know, the country was celebrating its 200th anniversary, and we were celebrating getting off this scaffolding. And it really was a treasure. Some nights, you know, there were nights when working on a Saturday, working all night, and I slept up there, and they had church service Sunday morning, and all of a sudden there's people coming in, and I'm up there asleep. And it was like, so it was really a wonderful experience. I had two sons that were born during that period of time while I was working on the project. And the youngest one just had his second child last month. And so time and life collapses so that it's just like yesterday.
I remember talking to Richard after we finished. I said, Richard, I think we did something really important.
Each of our paintings that Walter and I did connect one to the other to tell a total story about an experience that has no end. Because we're still in that process. We are still journeying on. We still are confronted from day to day with political and social events that determine the course of our history.
My sense of it is that we can't sweep the violence under the rug. We can't hide from the violence that's a part of the history of folks of African descent in relationship to this country, in relationship to the West. We can't hide from the violence in response to violence that's a part of that history. That kind of stuff that we hide from like that is exactly the stuff that has the potential of coming back to destroy us.